This might be controversial, but personally, I don't really subscribe to cultural appropriation. Culture is not a stagnant entity that needs to be handed down by and within a group of people. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'd like to say a big thank you for the overwhelming support for my last video and my channel. Now I finally get to see you guys on YouTube Analytics for the first time. And while I have your attention, I wanted to use momentum to sneak in yet another video about a great design on the internet for your dinner time entertainment. Now let's wind back a little bit. Culture is not a stagnant entity that needs to be handed down generations by a single group. It travels, it marries, it grows, and it reinvents itself, right? And a prime example of that is how the modern Western architecture was influenced by the East Asian way of living and apply the modern architectural technology to re-envision a new way of life, a new way of living. To properly explain this concept, I need to introduce a key understanding of Asian architecture, like in Japan and Korea, which was hugely influenced by their climates and readily available materials like wood. But I also wanted to bring your attention to how this can be applied in more modern contexts like Sydney, Australia. Sustainable redesign of an old apartment by Folk Studio led by Mariah Burton. And guess what? It was covered and featured on no other than Never Too Small, so you know the drill. Without getting into too much detail, the traditional architecture in East Asia, like in Japan and Korea, is a pillar-based structure, meaning the roof is supported by the pillars, not walls. And this has one particular benefit of opening up the space, entire space, to the outside. So the space is not confined by the four walls. Contrary to European buildings, the rooms may be small, but the doors and windows are as big as the walls, and they can be opened up to the outside to invite the surroundings. As such, Asian houses and rooms were not designed to be just lived in, but rather to look outside from the inside, which is why you see in a traditional Korean house an intimate and integral courtyard in the house. And this blurs the boundaries between the outside and the inside. This courtyard not only brings the nature into the interior, but also serves as an anchor point to look onto the other side of the housing and also look further beyond into the nature. When looking out through a frame becomes an art of expanding physical space, the Asian windows bring not only the near landscape, but also from afar. You can see this in Korean paintings, which can be also described as layering of landscapes, from the nearest to the observer to the farthest. It creates a sense of depth and distance even on a flat screen. Imagine what that can do to your space. Actually, this type of space arrangement is also found in some brownstone apartments in New York. They're called railroad apartments, which is basically a series of rooms connected without a hallway so that the space is layered upon one another. Privacy-wise, it may not be the best space arrangement if you have flatmates, but it definitely makes an interesting living experience. Now, Folk Studio did not change much of the floor plan during the renovation except for adding an office zone. The client's brief was to declutter the old apartment and open up the space with minimalistic aesthetics, which I think the studio nailed on the head. The service area is multifunctioning and forms a backbone of the apartment going all the way from the entrance to the end. And they also connected the continuous parallel lines on the furniture. They minimized the material palette to three elements: white, warm colors from wood and fabric, and minimal metallic hardware, which tidy up the visual clutter of the space. The most interesting part of the floor plan, however, is the bedroom with retractable shutters which are original to the apartment. It takes a real eye not to rip them off and instead restore them, as they create this unique experience of looking out from a cocoon. In this sense, the dining and living zones become a space on its own, like a courtyard where your eyes can rest. The American oak and organic cottons kind of create this restful Japanese Zen garden vibe. And to create this stillness, the studio focused on the overlapping needs of the user, right? Like how they integrated the side table into the sofa that fits right into the sunken wall, or the office desk that is mere extension of the kitchen. But to emphasize this layered space effect, I would change a few things. First of all, I would transform the balcony into a greenhouse, right? You can still see the plant wall on the side, but it is not really prominent in a way that makes you feel like, oh, there's a lot of nature on the other side. So I would really bring the plants into the space and transform it while you can still see outside through the window in the balcony. And to add on to it, I would change the window treatment so that it covers the entirety of the wall all the way to the top and on the side, so that the frames of the doors are not visible. That way you can create this illusion that the windows expand beyond what you see. Just like how the eaves of the Korean roof were painted in primary colors of nature so that the nature can seamlessly transition into the interior, right? I also apply this strategy, if you will, this through sight in my own apartment, whether it's through the open shelving that I have in between my bedroom and living areas. Sometimes it catches light through the space and I can see what's beyond, or the way I sit at the table in the morning for breakfast, looking out the window, and sometimes I get a glimpse of a family in their own kitchen having their breakfast. This all allows me to see what's beyond my own physical space and my immediate surroundings and make me aware of the spaces beyond what I see. Although this is a small apartment, they focused on curating a variety of sitting arrangements so that the change of scenery takes place in a subtle manner with perspectives and distance, which I think is a brilliant thing to do. When the space is so small, it can be challenging to create multiple pathways around the space. Instead, the studio focused on creating a multitude of points of views that can change on the need basis. What do you think about this space? How would you apply this approach to your own little tiny apartment? Let me know in the comment section below, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's content as much as I did making it. And please stay tuned for more intellectual conversation about our daily spaces. By subscribing to my channel, I'm fully becoming a YouTuber. So until then, I hope you guys enjoy your day. I am going to have dinner now, and I hope to see you guys next time too. Alright, ciao ciao.